Hey everyone. All right, we are in tomato mode. It is middle of May, East Tennessee, zone 6B, 7A. We act like both here. It really switches back and forth. But we're getting ready to put some tomatoes in the ground. This is we've got several cherry tomatoes already in the ground, and we've got several red beefsteaks in the ground, classic red beefsteaks, and we've got our paste tomatoes in the ground. But now we're going to work on some Wild Boar Farm varieties, and Tiffany is on her way up. Tiffany can discuss with us some of these varieties, and maybe between me and her both, we can share with you some of the information on these varieties and what we think about them. Growing habits, taste, flavor, what they're good for. So anyway, I'm going to spin you around so you can see what we got going on. All right, Tiffany. So tell us you picked these out. Tell us some of what you picked out and why you picked them out and why they are a staple on the farm, or why they're one we just kind of like.
First, we've got Dark Galaxy. So it is like, and you'll see the difference between here. We actually had this tomato under a pink grow light, and this was just under a normal grow light. So the pink grow light gave it all that
Purplage
color. But the tomatoes are like a purple, dark, almost black tomato, but they have spots. So it's a really cool tomato. The flavor's pretty good.
kind of got some brown in it too,
Yeah,
don't it?
the flavor's pretty good. It's not like,
It's not your sweetest tomato ever.
but it's good.
Got a great flavor, good tang.
Black Beauty is better, but it's still really good.
Yeah, but we don't want to eat all the same type of tomato.
We have Lucid Gem, which has been one of our favorites.
Since the first year we put it in the
It has
ground.
got a very sweet, non-acidic flavor. It is a multicolored tomato, more yellow and orange than anything, but got some purple deep into it. So it's really cool looking, but it tastes really good too. Large barred boar. This one is actually, it's a pretty big like beefsteak tomato, but it's red and has almost like a green stripe in it, so it's really cool, tastes good. Pork chop is one of Morgan's favorites. It is almost a translucent yellow.
Oh, I didn't remember that was a Wild Boar Farm variety.
Yes. So it's a translucent yellow beefsteak. So it tastes really good, very non-acidic, with a fruity more flavor to it, which is kind of typical of your yellow tomatoes.
Hey, you see here on the ends of these leaves, this ain't no big deal. We will pick this off when we plant it. This limb will actually come off anyway, but this is either windburn or sunburn, where we put these seedlings outside and didn't give them enough chance to break in and harden off.
So we didn't know if we were going to have any of these because we accidentally sold them and killed the rest. Solar Flare. So this one is a really cool red tomato with yellow streaks. A lot of people love it. It looks good. It's not like my favorite to eat, but it's really cool. So it's a good one. I mean,
I like it.
Yeah, not the best flavor, but to me, but like I'm a mono orange girl.
It's got a more complex flavor. She likes a mono orange, which is basically just pure sweet.
Yeah.
So don't let her judgy tone on the Solar Flare deter you from it, because it's a more complex flavored tomato, which I definitely enjoy.
We got Berkeley tie-dye, the normal Berkeley tie-dye,
which is more green.
Yep.
And that is one of my favorite. That tomato has such a wonderful complex flavor and tang. It changes colors as it goes through the tomato, and each color has a different flavor, and it's really cool.
Yep. Red Beauty.
Okay, she has picked Red Beauty. We will not be planting Red Beauty. Red.
You said.
I said no Red Beauty from the beginning of the year.
So you can tell what Steve thinks of Red Red Beauty.
Red Beauty tastes good. The problem is in our climate, you're gonna pick most of them as green. Now, sometimes they do ripen, but Red Beauty is a nice beefsteak tomato, but it a little bit smaller. It's more of a slicer than a beefsteak. But we have not saying I'll never try it again, but 2 years in a row we grew it, and it was the first tomato plant to pick up late blight. And I'm just not interested in fighting late blight.
Okay, so now that we have narrowed it down to another variety out, these are some that we specifically knew we were going to grow, so we went ahead and put them in these, so we saved on the plastic pots. These are our reusables. So we have Berkeley tie-dye green, which is a green, and it does have some striping into it. Berkeley tie-dye pink, so it's more the Berkeley tie-dye, but it's got more pink to it. Let's see, there's a lot of other ones in there either. The Dragon's Eye, which is a smaller, about that size tomato, maybe 4 to 6 ounces. Very purple, multicolored tomato. It's okay. Not my favorite. A lot of people like it. It's cool, but like once again, I have specific tomato tastes.
She likes just a plain old sweet tomato.
Yeah. So, Norwood Miners. That's a small, like 4 to 6 inch. It's like a red. It has a little bit of stripe to it.
Norwood Miners is okay. It's nothing special. Yeah. There's other tomatoes that are definitely better than it, but it's not a bad tomato at all. It's just and it's way better than what you're going to get in the grocery store. When you go to the grocery store and pick up a tomato like that, these are like little 2-ounce tomatoes. And when you pick up one of those in the grocery store, they're usually flavorless. These will definitely have good flavor, but they don't compare to a lot of the other stuff in the garden.
Yeah, and a lot of people like them because they like those red tomatoes.
Oh yeah.
I just don't. So yeah.
She's picky.
Yeah. We got amethyst cream, but they are not going back here because they go with our cherry tomatoes.
Yep. Nothing goes in here that's a cherry tomato. Everything in here is going to have to be a 4-ounce or bigger tomato. If it can't cut 4 ounces, it don't go.
Once again, we got these beautiful reusable containers. We put some of these in that we knew we were going to have. So we have got Lush Queen, and I cannot remember except for it is a red striped beefsteak, and it tastes really good. A lot of people like it. So we've got a Dark Queen, which is a red and green beefsteak. Janet's Jacinth Jewel, so it is more of a yellow orange tomato, pretty good size. I love it. Once again, it's a yellow orange tomato. So.
She likes that sweet orange.
Red Boar, so it's red. It's not
a little smaller, isn't it?
Yeah, it's
6 ounce maybe.
Probably. Can't remember specifically on that one. Black and Brown Boar, which is kind of
cool.
Yeah, it's actually like a Cherokee purple with striping almost. Kryptonite.
That was new for us last year.
Yeah. Blue Gold, it is really cool. We actually are right here in Johnson City, and our college is ETSU, which colors are blue and gold. And also, our girls, one's graduating here in a few weeks, but they go to university school, which is the school of ETSU. And their colors are also blue and gold. So it's kind of cool to grow anyway, and we've got blue gold berries also. But it's a good flavor tomato, not the greatest, but it's got that really cool purple blue color to it. And then it's got this beautiful yellow. Pink Boar. I don't remember a whole lot about the Pink Boar. It
Me
probably
either.
Wasn't a lot for, just...
Well, we just ain't paid no attention. Right.
Bleeding Heart. I love this one because I love those ox heart types. So it's kind of like that. It's got that heart shape to it. But if I remember right, that one's kind of got a little streaking.
Back to she likes the ox hearts, the orange ox hearts to be specific.
Orange ox heart and a mono orange. Persuasion. That is a multicolored. It's probably about an 8-ounce tomato if I remember correctly.
About right, 6 to 8 maybe.
But it's a good one. Does have a good flavor to it. Not my favorite, but it is really good. And Atomic Sunset, right? Yeah. That one is, if I remember right, orange yellow. That was new to us last year. but we didn't get hardly any off of them. So we're hoping for a better tomato year this year. So
we usually give the tomatoes at least 2 years. If they don't prove out 2 years in a row, they hit the road.
Yep. And I think we had a few more dark gouts. Actually, only one more dark gout. Afternoon Delight. That was one of my favorites because, once again, it kind of got that yellow orange to it. So.
All right, Tiffany, let's go show them what we're doing over here planting. All right, so here's what we got going on. We have laid out 3 pieces of well-used landscape fabric. The couple of these pieces have been used now for about 3 years and not taken the best of care of. But Tiffany is planting a whole roll of Berkeley tie-dyes. Now, as she just discussed with you, we got Berkeley tie-dye pink, Berkeley tie-dye regular, which is kind of a red with greens and so forth in it. And then we got a Berkeley tie-dye green, which is primarily green with little reds and oranges and yellows in it. And then Morgan is taking care of a mess. This little, I guess that's a rose bush, ain't it, Tiff?
Fake rose bush.
Wild rose bush that's grew up there in the fence that we cut back and burn back every year, and it keeps growing and growing. So Morgan's taking this baby back to the ground, and if she don't quit using my lops on an angle, she's going to get in trouble.
Okay.
But she is going to take this back to the ground so that when we're out here picking tomatoes, it ain't picking us. So she's got the gloves on and got the lops, and she's cutting that baby down to nothing, ain't you, Morgan?
Yep.
We're not going to get eat up with it this year. It might come back next year, but it won't be getting us this year. So now I'm going to stay out of our middle rows here because Tiffany is going to come back and plant radishes and beets in between these. That's why we didn't join our fabric, is because we want to use this space in between to plant radishes and beets. Now this side we can't plant in yet because it's freshly tilled, so we're going to cultivate this a few more times by hand before we plant anything in it. But this right here, Tiffany will be able to plant in this probably tomorrow. We'll get radishes and
Steven's handy dandy little mill hole.
yeah, we should be able to use one cultivator in the middle down through there on it. Our Haas wheel hoe is coming in very handy. But you see Tiffany is pulling the bottom leaves off of these to keep them up off the ground. And it will definitely stunt these little ones.
You want to know what clay soil looks like?
Yeah, she's going to have to get most of this out and put some better stuff back in because that little plant won't be able to grow. Clay is full of nutrients. The problem is unlocking it. And so that's why we continue to till amendments into this clay soil. And this is something we've never gardened on, is this plot here, so it is not up to our standards. So I'm going to get busy and start laying out the next row so I don't get in trouble. So we'll catch you up here in a minute. Okay, well, we finished yesterday planting around the greenhouses up here. These are all new plots for us, but I'm trying to finish this video up for you, show you what we've done. We have a section of Corday Boo here, this whole side, and that's a pretty darn acidic red tomato. And then over there on the other side we have hillbilly potato leaf, whole section of them right there. And we watered all these in except for this end. The water sprinkler didn't make it to this end, so I'll get these today. We have and these are double rolls on a stagger, so we get a little over 2 feet, around 30 inches between plants, which works out great. But here we have some solar flares and a section of lucid gems. We'll be doing some tasting videos on all these for everybody here in the near future. And Yes, this is black pineapple. So that's a new one for us, so we're excited to try it. In the middle, we've got some beets seeded over there, and then we got some multi-sown beet starts here. Like I said, I need to hit all this with some more water over here. Some of it got water and some of it didn't, but it's still gonna need some more. Some more lucid gems. That whole side I think is black pineapple, but this side, yeah, we changed to orange jazz right here. We got a 6, I think, orange jazz. That's a new tomato for us we're trying out. And then that's the hillbilly potato leaves I was talking about. And all we've done here is simply till this with our John Deere 1025R and a 50-inch tiller. The 50-inch tiller works perfect for 4-foot fabric. This is 3-foot fabric. Each of those sections, see those lines between the yellow lines? That's 1 foot, 2 foot, 3 foot. And each of those sections makes it easy to plant and space and stagger your plants. But 4 foot works great behind that. But we started out, when we started doing this with 3 foot, we have since moved to buying only 4 foot and 10 foot fabric. It works out very well. 12 foot works good too, but it's expensive, I guess is the big term. And then we have some bleeding heart here, and you'll see we got some sage interplanted. Alyssa put some sage in about every 5 spaces, so it's a good place for herbs, attract beneficial insects, so on and so forth. But like I said, we tilled it. We put in some amendments, some compost and some cow manure, and composted cow manure, and so on and so forth. But let's see, we have Aunt Ruby's German green. That's obviously is the name, a green tomato. We have white tomasols. We have black and brown boars. We got some basil interplanted here. Basil is very good to plant in your tomatoes. If you don't know, very beneficial. And that's more black and brown boars. So that whole row is black and brown boars. And then we got some red boars and some pink boars planted. And blue golds. So I don't think I'd said it. Most of this, except for over there, and the lucid gems and solar flowers are also. But most of this is Wild Boar Farm varieties. Trying to organize on the farms. We put some Wild Boar Farm varieties up here, and these are all Wild Boar Farm varieties also. So anyway, I hope you've enjoyed this, and we'll get off here and get this video posted for y'all. Be sure you like and subscribe, and we'll try to get you more content out as things progress here on the farm. Keep you updated on how these grow and what we got going on. In between here we have and there we have radishes seeded, and that's the same thing we got seeded here. So we got radishes in both, beets over there. No space goes unwasted. These radishes will be done way before these tomatoes take up this space and do much with it. So I gotta get off here and get some crops watered. I got some pruning to do in the greenhouse. I might bring you along for that and show you how the tomatoes are progressing, but let's get off here and get this video posted. Thank you.